This is Ryan Richardson on my Week 7 Barriers project. Battling some technical difficulties here today. Technology definitely won, but we're going to use the iPad and just video the computer screen so that way you can hear me and see the PowerPoint presentation. In the Missouri Leader Standards, we have 6 different standards that we're going to look at today. Standard 1 being vision, mission, and goals. Standard 2, teaching and learning. Standard 3, management of organizational systems. Standard 4, collaboration with families and stakeholders. Standard 5, ethics and integrity. And Standard 6, professional development. And our first standard, again, vision, mission, and goals. Education leaders have the knowledge and ability to ensure the success of all students by facilitating the development, articulation, implementation, and stewardship of a school or district vision of learning supported by the school community. There's 2 quality indicators for this one. The first one is develop and articulate a vision, and quality indicator 2 is implement and steward a vision. So the barrier for this would be in athletics. There would be a barrier that can keep standard 1, the vision, mission, and goals, from being incorporated into our programs. One of the biggest barrier is all the coaches and all the different sports operating under the same mission and vision that the athletic director installs, or activities director, excuse me. Some of the solutions that we can look at here is the activities director can work with all the coaches to brainstorm and create a mission statement for the school. This will allow all the coaches to take part in creating a little bit of ownership into that, and they can commit to the statement and the vision and know specifically what that looks like and how to demonstrate that to the students and the athletes, the community, and the other fellow teachers and administrators in the school district. It just helps create everybody has a little bit of ownership in that and buy-in. Standard 2, teaching and learning. In Standard 2, education leaders have the knowledge and ability to ensure the success of all students by promoting a positive school culture, providing an effective instructional program that applies best practice to student learning, and designing comprehensive professional growth plans for staff. There's 3 indicators in this, with the first indicator being promote a positive school culture. The second one, provide an effective instructional program. And the third one, design comprehensive professional growth plans. A barrier in this would be that all coaches face in regards to Standard 2 would be establishing a culture of learning within their programs. The solution I found, I did a little bit of research, and I found there was nine factors that can help coaches face the challenges to establishing a culture within their programs. That's always one of the hardest things to do as a coach. And here are some of those steps that I found. The coaches must be deliberate. It never just happens from a set of series or goals. You have to set them. Coaches define clear expectations for all to follow. The teams choose leaders who effectively model the culture, and there's no telling how, whether it's 1, 2, 3, or 4, 5, how many ever, or an entire team. These typically use words to describe themselves such as accountable, honest, resilient, team-focused, and they always reward effort before results. Coaches want their athletes appropriate ownership over the team's direction, and they are collaborative in their approach to being the best they can be. The coach is ultimately the leader of the team. And again, that's hard to kind of get instilled, but when the athletes buy into the ownership of the program, it really gets things going. You have to address poor behavior and make sure that it is dealt with immediately and that there are significant consequences. The recurring poor behavior, you really have to deal with that. And it will happen from time to time, but you can't tolerate that type of behavior no matter what type of player that is, as the team can see everything. Performance standards and effort are never compromised. There's always no excuses, no matter what. It's got to be go, 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 and doing things the right way every time. Every aspect of what matters most in a special teams culture is reinforced through the team symbols and symbolic acts. And we need to find a way to be able to reward and acknowledge those when players do that until it becomes instilled and just second nature. Moving on to Standard 3, which is management of organizational systems. Education leaders have the knowledge and ability to ensure the success of all students by managing the organization, operations, and resources in a way that promotes a safe, efficient, and effective learning environment. 3 indicators here. Management of the organizational structure. Indicator 2 is lead your personnel. And number 3 is manage your resources. A barrier for this would be having a facility management plan in place that'll help you run an effective program as the administrator. Every school district should have a facility management plan created by the AD and approved by the school board that addresses the following. You need safe playing conditions. Within the safe playing conditions also, within your indoor facilities and your outdoor facilities, we have to inspect them, have a safety checklist, and go out to those facilities every day or before games or practices and whenever we're going to have a crowd there, and make sure that all things are operational and ready to run. We need to have a plan in place for inclement weather conditions. Should be easy to find. The announcer, the PA guy, if we're outside, inside, should have something in front of them that really lets them get the word out there and can be really easily accessed to be in safe areas. Proper equipment, being able to evaluate that equipment on season basis during season to make sure that our kids and athletes are always in the best working condition. Equipment and safety is always our first priority on that. Standard 4, collaboration with families and stakeholders. Again, this is educational leaders have the knowledge and ability to ensure the success of all students by collaborating with families and other community members, responding to diverse community interests and needs, and mobilizing community resources. 3 indicators again: collaborate with families and other community members, respond to community interests and needs, and 3, mobilize community resources. A barrier on this one would be lack of communication between programs and their stakeholders. If a program will have a communication policy in place, there will be no lack of communication. I listed just a few of the tools that can be used on this: Facebook, Twitter, Remind, Snapchat, school website, Instagram. And the solution would be that each of these tools mentioned can reach hundreds and hundreds of people, no matter where they are in the world, and you can upload your documents with calendars and videos, pictures, to kind of keep fans up to date on all the things happening within your program. And when you do this, though, you need to have a social media use policy handy and available for all coaches and kids to see and sign off on. Standard 5, ethics and integrity. Educational leaders have the knowledge and ability to ensure the success of all students by acting with integrity and in an ethical manner, with an indicator of personal and professional responsibility. A barrier to this would be inappropriate relationships that happen. And again, the solution here would be just having the policies in place and understanding those policies and living by them, and to have the coaches know of the consequences that could happen under those policies. Standard 6, professional development. Educational leaders remain current on best practices in education and administration with school-related evidence by establishing a plan for his or her professional development each year with an indicator of increased knowledge and skills based on best practices. Some common barriers that coaches face for finding professional development are funding the professional development and finding quality professional development. And again, this is kind of our solution of being fiscally responsible and meeting the program's philosophies of where we want to grow and get better at. This is my works cited page of where I found some of my information. I appreciate your time today, and those are my standards.